Techno Tinkers, and welcome to By Darian Blend. Again, this is another Bee Blast vlog. This one's going to be a lot more interesting though, because I'm going to be talking about all the projects that I have currently. And one of the bigger reasons why I want to go ahead and do this is because I do want to try to make some kind of update videos on my progress for some of these projects. Some of them I'm gonna hopefully try to use for tutorials, and if not, they're just gonna be some fun little side projects that I've been working on for a while. I want to go ahead and show you what I have already done, and so you can kind of have like the general idea of not only what we're going to be kind of working on, but so you can follow along on the journey and kind of get to see the finished project at the end. Alright, so let's get started. Side note, and I apologize in advance if the audio is kind of weird or the video is kind of shaky, it's because I'm going to be holding my camera up the entire time. So apologies in advance, but let's take a look at the things. The first one to go ahead and talk about is going to be for my dragon, Adelinda. This is kind of her current suit right now, and I kind of just have the tail tucked in. That's not normally like that. But this is one that I've had since 2015, and I'm actually currently in the process of upgrading her. Not only from the suit itself, but I'm actually making a brand new head. I'm kind of showing off the old suit for right now because I plan to actually disassemble the wings as well as possibly parts of the tail and such, so they may not be in the shape again afterwards, but this is how she looks now, and this is her current progress so far, or at least of the head. I've actually got a good most of the head finished. The only thing missing is maybe just a bit more of the neck that I need to add on. The head is pretty much finished, and just with some minor tweaks that I still need to do on the inside to make it a little more comfortable, as well as that neck. But she is able to follow the eyes a bit, and she's coming out really well. So you may see her in a couple more videos, as well as when I have the full thing set up. I actually have the full suit kind of worked out in the sketch with her tail and such, but we're still just working on little bits and pieces here and there. It's just the head that I wasn't able to really put on there, but I knew what I was doing. One of the other pieces I have prepared is actually her gloves. So they do have a little bit of foam and stuff at the ends there. I would have made a full tutorial on how I made them, but I actually wasn't sure what I was doing here. And this is about attempt number 3 that I've had on this fabric. So this is what they look like so far. I'm actually going to be adding fur and stuff to cover over it so it won't look so clunky and wrinkled and stuff, but they are currently still a work in progress. This is another chunk of Adelinda's body, currently in the works. It's currently on a duct tape dummy that I made a while back, and it is still currently a work in progress. I do plan to go ahead and put a fabric covering over it, as well as, of course, covering up the full thing so that the legs can actually connect to the feet that I'm making. And speaking of the feet, I actually have them ready and their claws are in place, but I am still attempting to work on a pattern before I start sewing up the fabric, which is this fabric right here. So I have a lot of it, but I have to be very careful with it because I can't remember how much I bought since I bought it so long ago. So I need to make sure that I have enough to make the full suit. Oops. I also have the tail in the works, and it's mostly done. It's just missing the fabric on the outside as well as the tail tip. I'm gonna try to add a video here of kind of what it looks like so far, but I'll have that in a future video when I get the tail bits done. Second major project involves my lovely Becky Bunny. This is kind of her current form right now. The base itself is just a foam base with some magnetic parts to it, so as well as her glasses and stuff, and I think her eyebrows also come off. Woo! But I want to try to fix this so I can actually refur it, since I got some brand new fur for it, and that's exciting. So I haven't started on it yet, but that'll definitely be one for the near future. As soon as I'm able to get some more foam, I'm gonna make her a brand new head base, as well as redoing pretty much her whole attire and making her a drop crotch suit, which will be kind of interesting. This is kind of the reference for what I have in mind to go ahead and make the drop crotches. It's, of course, just kind of a sketch drawing, and I understand that I'm a little chunkier than that, but that's kind of the basis of what I'm trying to go for. So I'm going to be making brand new gloves, brand new feet, new tail. It's going to be a lot of foam. A lot of foam for them thighs. But I think it'll be cute. So we shall see when that happens. And this is my shifter Boyo. He's actually mostly finished. I just need to make a few small adjustments to the back, as it's still open. Because when I currently put it on, it's way too tight. So this is my Boyo's shadow. He looks kind of spoopy, because all he is really dark colors. But this is kind of a temp suit for me. I actually have a full-on plan that I'd love to do with his character, since he's very, very complicated and actually is like able to shift into different forms and stuff. So since that suit's gonna take a while, this was my attempt at using one of those fancy raptor masks that they use on TikTok. So it actually came out pretty nice. The jaw actually doesn't open very well. But, you know, he still looks cool. He's not a talkative character, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm actually probably gonna end up showing the full thing once I have the ref sheet finished, as well as to kind of explain his background and stuff, because he's actually a bit of an interesting character. And those are just the projects that I have available that I can show on screen. I actually have a lot more ideas than I do physical projects that I'm working on. I have digital art that I want to work on. I want to make badges from beginning to end and actually laminating them if I can. I have masks, more different kinds of designs and stuff that I want to show off, especially with the upcoming Renaissance Fair. Hopefully still happens. We'll see what happens with that. I have a few ideas for trying out a few different things, like when I do work on the suits upgrades, I want to try out a different technique different techniques for making the wings, as well as some small little contraptions and stuff that I wanted to add to my rabbit, in hopes to see if I can do it at all. If not, then, you know, they'll just be the updates from there. So I'll be adding those into some of my Bee Blast videos, as well as just a bunch of kind of just random ideas that I have in store. There's more tutorials that I want to try to do for things like the sewing basics that I know, as well as crocheting, which I would love to do very, very soon, but we'll see when that happens. So a lot of it's just still ideas right now, but I do have those projects in the works. So to go ahead and see more on that, feel free to stick around and kind of watch through the process. Otherwise, you know, we'll kind of see what happens. And of course, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my little bit of projects here, I would suggest that you subscribe so you can go ahead and follow along with the progress of all these projects, as I do plan to at least show them off in the vlogs, if not in tutorials as well. If you did enjoy this video in particular, feel free to leave a like. If you have any suggestions or comments, of course, leave them down in the comment section, or send them over to our Twitter at boltsbindarian. But with all said and done, this is Rebecca signing off, and I will see you all very soon.